Hi, I'm Jake from teachmepizza.com, and today I'm answering the question, what is the most popular pizza topping? You may be thinking that's pepperoni or peppers or onions or sausage, but the most popular pizza topping that goes on 90% of the pizzas is your mozzarella. So today I'm going to show you why it is so important to pick out the right cheese for your pizza. So as you can see, I have a solid block, I have fresh mozzarella, and I also have shredded. Each one of these cheeses will give you a different profile on your finished product. So let's get started. Let's dive in here. So let's start with our shredded mozzarella. This is probably the go-to for most people that are making pizza or have started out making pizza. So I just chose a simple cheese from our local market. The reason why I choose to not take this one is because, yes, it is whole milk and it is a low moisture, and they do recommend it for pizzas, but if you go on the back here, it talks about what is actually in it. So they're adding byproducts in this to stop it from caking, from clumping up and creating like a ball. That's why it's, see, if you can look at the package here, this has been sitting out for a little bit, but it's not even sticking together, it's staying loose. And that's because they add a cellulose to it, or an additive, it's a powdered cellulose. And they also add rice flour to it. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna stop your cheese from caking together. But it also does is it takes away the moisture that would normally be in a fresh block like this. This is gonna have to be hand shredded, so it's a little bit more work, but you are gonna achieve a much creamier cheese on top of your pizza with a nice stretch, because all that's in this is pasteurized milk, vinegar, salt, and enzymes. That's it. There's nothing else. There's no cellulose, there's no rice flour, there's no anti-caking in it. So why would you wanna put different products on your cheese, on your pizza? It's gonna take away from the flavor. It's gonna take away from the profile of the stretch on the cheese. It's gonna be a much drier cheese. And once it cools, it's gonna pull off like a sheet of plastic. And we don't want that. Also with this shredded cheese, you're gonna find that as it's cooking in high temperatures, you are going to see it actually turn color on top. It's gonna turn more of a brown. It may even burn. So any byproducts of a cheese like this is gonna actually cause it to burn. This one right here will actually handle more extreme temps much better. So when comparing the price on this per weight, this is a 16-ounce block of cheese. This one right here is actually a 32-ounce bag of cheese. You gotta remember though, some of that weight is also going into the cellulose and the rice flour. So you're not really getting the full, you're not just paying for the cheese, you're paying for the additives in it. This one is just a raw block. A lot of times when you put a little more work into your product, you'll find that this might be a little cheaper for you to go this route, but it also tastes way better. So that's something to consider when you're picking out your cheese. What I do to shred this, I use a hand grater. I don't have anything fancy, just a hand grater. If you're making a lot of pizza though, maybe you wanna look into getting a grater. I don't have one, I just use this hand grater here and it seems to work just fine. And it really only takes a few seconds to just grate this up for a pizza. So it's not that bad. This one right here though, they also have a mold inhibitor in it. So now you're not only eating the rice flour and the cellulose, you're eating the mold inhibitor, whatever that is, I don't know. But you have chemicals in it, so you don't want that. You want more of the raw. This is the better bet. If you're not going to use it all, you can put it in a Tupperware container or just wrap it in saran wrap and back in the fridge for next time. And then over here, if we look at the fresh mozzarella, this is a great choice to go with too. The only thing with this one though is you'll find a lot of times that this cheese will make your pizza very wet. Actually with this one right here, less is more. More is just you're gonna have a soggy pizza. So fresh mozzarella will hold up in the oven just as good as this log right here, the whole milk, low moisture. But you may want to, I've seen people do it, I've even done it before, wrapping this in a paper towel and just wringing out some of the moisture may help. Also just breaking it up and putting it on your pizza lightly. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. There's our cheeses. I'm going to show you what this looks like when you cook these side by side. This one compared to this one, and we'll be right back with that. So the dough I'm using today, you can find in my course and learn how to make it from start to finish. So this is our fresh shredded cheese here. And you can feel it's very moist. Just gonna go ahead and sprinkle it on there. This one right here is the low moisture whole milk pre-shredded with all the cellulose and mold inhibitors and all that in it. And this one right here, this is how I do it. I just break this apart. You don't have to slice or anything, you just break it. This one's not as wet. Sometimes they're really wet though, depending on what you get. Sometimes it comes in actually a bowl of fluid. So you wanna make sure, just go ahead and take this right here and just break it apart. You don't want a huge clump on it because this oven's gonna cook so fast. You wanna make sure that it melts. I like to just break that apart. And if it is really wet, like I said, you can take a paper towel and just soak up some of the moisture on it. There you go. Okay. I don't ever really use the pre-sliced. If that's all they have, you can rip it apart too, but it's easier if it's just one loaf. You can pull it right apart and just stick it on there. So here we have our 3 pizzas. They're all topped, ready to go in the oven. This is our block that we shredded, our pre-shredded, and our fresh mozzarella. We're gonna start out with the first one that we made here. This is the whole block that we shredded. We're gonna let that cook. I'm gonna put the door on it. So with this particular uni, I'm using charcoal as my fuel with wood mixed. So with this oven right here, it gets up to 750 degrees inside. It should only take about 2 to 3 minutes to cook this. I let it tone down a little bit. So checking it out, it's already rising. As you can see, it's only been there for about 30 seconds. So within 2 minutes, this pizza will be done. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a spin halfway through here. It's almost done here. One more spin, we'll let it go for just a little bit longer. 1. There's our first pizza. You can see it got a little bit of charring on top, very light, which isn't bad for the cheese. Now for the second pizza, the pre-shredded whole milk, low moisture. Let that go. All right, and here's the second one. This is the low moisture whole milk. Flame is toned down in there now, so it's okay to put this in. If the flame's real high, you do not want to put a pizza in there. So this is our fresh mozzarella one. We're gonna give this a shot. There we go, that one's in. Go ahead and shut the door. Give it a few minutes. And we'll do that with that one. All right. This one's looking pretty good. Give it just a little bit more time in there. A little bit. We'll go ahead and pull this one out now. You can see the fresh mozzarella, nicely melted. So with this one, you're gonna appreciate the dough, the sauce, and less cheese. So on your classic pizzeria pizza, you're gonna have a lot more cheese on it than this one. This one's more of like a margarita, in my opinion. Put a little basil on that, a little olive oil, and that would be your margarita. So go ahead and cut this one right here. Now as you can see with this one has way more color than this one. And the reason being is this has the anti-caking agent in it, the cellulose and the rice flour to stop it from sticking together, so that'll burn up on top, which can't withstand as much heat. And this one right here is a lot lighter and actually a little creamier. The cheese texture is a lot creamier actually. So we'll go ahead and take a bite of this one right here. Has some nice flavor, a nice chew, a nice stretch to it, very creamy. Now for this one, we're going to go ahead and try this right here. So the cheese is a little less stretchy already. You can hold it up, it doesn't move off the pizza. All right, we're gonna go ahead and give this a shot. This one has more of like a school lunch, like a cafeteria pizza. The cheese is kind of like a little harder. Now, if I wasn't comparing these, I probably wouldn't even be able to tell. The only way I'd be able to tell is the way it cooks in the oven. Both times I cooked out of the oven was the same temp, so it's relatively the same. But you can see the color difference in this one compared to that one. All right, so here we are with the fresh mozzarella. One thing I would say with this is once it comes out of the oven, you can't just like go ahead and eat it right away. It'll be really wet, really soupy. Once you let it just sit for a minute, just give it time. Once you let it sit, it'll start to dry up a little bit, and it gets a little more workable. But you can see the cheese is nice and loose still. It's not overly dry. I'm going to take a bite of this one. And this is much more mild. It's not like this one where it's really rich and it's less salty. It's less salty. This one's a little more salty. This one has a different flavor from the stuff on it. I don't know, it almost tastes like a school lunch pizza. And this one's more mild, more fresh, less salty. Like I said, this would be your classic margarita right here with the fresh mozzarella on there, a little bit of basil, and you got it made right there. So there you have it. If you like these videos, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with someone that loves making pizza. Thank you.